So I went and looked at the meeting. I went to the meeting, and I remember at the meeting, the first thing I saw was a display of products. You know, the way Pascal has presented them to us now, they were there in the meeting room, they were physical. So I did my quick analysis and I said, so these people, whatever they are showing us, they are going to tell us to go and sell these things. So I sat down in the room and the meeting went on and someone presented. Then towards the end of the meeting, they invited some people that had done the business to share their experiences the way I am doing. And one of the things that struck me is there were young people in the meeting. When I saw them, my eyes began to sparkle because I said they are young just like me. They are students just like me. And truly, if they can do this business, why not me? I've always believed in a principle that if someone else has done it, I can also do it. And then I also believe that you will never know if it works until you try. So they showed us how much money we needed. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money, but I managed to look for it and get it. So here I am, I get started in the business. And my main reason for starting was just to make a little pocket money. Maybe about $30 was enough for me as a student, because that's enough money, because I was not paying tuition, the government was paying, they were giving us all the materials we needed for school. So for me, this was just pocket money. So I started the business, and unfortunately for me, 5 months went by before anything began to happen in my business. So the person who invited me called me and asked me, Jesse, how are you doing your business? How is business going? And I went quiet. Then he asked me, which products are you using? I kept quiet because I didn't want to tell a lie. The truth is, I had started the business to make money, but I was not using any products. Because in my mind, I didn't think I needed to use the health products. I was not sick. I was still young, I thought. So I quickly thought of how to get money. I remember they had given us money for I think it was faculty allowance. I went and I used that money to buy some cleaning products. And I still remember the impact those products had on me. I always say the products didn't only work, they also worked on my attitude. I bought myself Super 10, I bought LDC, I bought Fantastic to use at home, and G1 laundry. Those were the first 4 products and hand and body lotion. Those were the first 4 products that I ever used. When I used those products, my eyes opened. I saw that these products did exactly what we used to say in training they do. And without any holdback, I began to talk to people. I began to talk to the people that I used to fear. And people began to order for products. People began to buy. And then I also began to share the business with other people. I remember in training, they had taught us that when you are talking to someone, build a small connection and then you ask the question. If I would show you a business that you can do in your spare time, would you be interested to have a look at it? I remember one time I was moving on the road, on the street, and then there was this man who was moving in the same direction. We began a conversation. Then I dropped the question and he said, yes, I would like to. I said, give me your number, I will invite you. So I invited him and he came with his friend. I remember both of them got started. Wow, I got excited about the business. I began to talk to everybody I would meet. I even remember one time I was in the bathroom. There was a young man in the bathroom. I asked him the same question. If I would show you a business that you can do in your spare time, would you be open to have a look? He said, yes. He also came for the meeting. He got started. I built the business, and within that month, I remember I made my first step, which was to become a manager. The check was quite small. It was about $5. But the person who invited me told me, reassured me that, Jesse, this is the business we have started. It begins small, but with time, it will grow. 2 months later, I became a senior manager, and my income came to about $100. I was still at the university, second-year student. By the time I finished my second year, I made it to director. I was earning about $500. Now, you need to understand that $500 in my country is about the money that a graduate engineer earns. And that's about the money that my lecturers were earning. So already I was beginning to feel like, I am in the same financial status as my lecturers. In fact, I remember on that account alone, my academic performance began to increase. And I like to make a joke that, whenever they would ask a question, like, what is applied thermodynamics? Even if I didn't know the answer, I would just put up the hand, because even if I got the answer wrong, the money would still keep on coming. So I was really excited because even my academic grades began to improve. I remember towards the end of our third year, they came looking for students who had the top CGPA to give them special opportunities for internship. And I remember that my name was among. So for any student on the call, this is a business that you can do in your spare time, but still you can be able to do well and excel in your academics. And I remember in that same year, the company was celebrating a Golden Jubilee celebration in London. This was going to be my first time ever to get on an aircraft. You should have seen me. I worked the business and then I finally got the invitation to travel to London. And this was the first day ever in my life to get on an aircraft. In fact, that made me probably the first person in my family or in my clan to go to get on a plane or go to the United Kingdom. And I remember spending there 2 weeks. I came back. Since then, I've had an opportunity to go to South Africa. I have been to Mauritius. I have been to a number of beautiful resorts, Zanzibar, Victoria Falls, to mention but a few. This is a business. I remember when I took a step, the company asked me to put in a partner. I had not yet got married, so I put in my mother as my partner. And I remember I went with her to Johannesburg for the Ruby orientation. That day has since been a memorable day in her life, because I remember she sat next to the window and she watched the plane taking off and she just kept saying, fantastic, wow, fantastic, fantastic. You know, she was so amazed. And to this day, when we talk, those are the memories that she has of the places she has been, care of Neolife. So I just want to tell you that this is a business that can really transform your life. I remember by the time I graduated, I had bought myself a car. I mean, as a student, who does that? I had managed to buy myself a car. Out of this business, I have bought assets. I have bought land. I have made some investments that now make money work for me. This is a business that anybody can do. I just want to tell you a few things that this business has done. The first thing is I have benefited tremendously from the products. Like I said earlier on, initially, I didn't think I was sick, but one health challenge I used to have was flu. I used to get cold. And for me, whenever I would get flu, I would get fever, I would be down for about 3 days, I would not function. My life would come to a standstill. Until I realized that the money I would pay for medication of flu was almost the money I would pay to buy a tin of vitamin C on distributor price. So I decided that now this is going to be a lifestyle. So I began to use vitamin C consistently. To this day, I cannot remember the last time I had flu. Sometimes I'm around people who have flu and I just get away like that. I don't get it. So these are products that I have seen, they boost and strengthen your immunity. I am a living testimony to that. The other thing about this business is that it gives you freedom of time. You know, for a long time, we used to say that this is a home-based business. And I have come to realize and appreciate that indeed this is a business that you can do at your time, at your pace. It gives you freedom of time. I remember when we were expecting our 2 girls, we used to go for antenatal, and not a single time did I miss an antenatal visit with my wife because I had the opportunity to do that. I've always wanted to support her in this process. So this business gave me the freedom and the opportunity to do that because it is my business. I decide when to work and when to do my own personal things. So this is a business that really gives you that benefit. But the other thing that I also enjoy is the freedom of being your own boss. I remember 3 years after I graduated, I developed a yearning to do something with my profession, mechanical engineering. So I said, it's okay, let me go ahead and do the business part-time, but let me go to the university and pick my transcript and be able to work as the mechanical engineer. I just developed that yearning. So I remember I went for my papers from the university, I put in an application and I began to see the challenges that people go through to get jobs. If there are any people here that are students, this is a business you need to do. I remember one time I put in an application, I was number 1,000 and they only needed 2 people. Can you imagine? And then here I am, I get into the interview room and they asked me questions. You know, they had looked at my CV, I had gone to all these countries, I had this, leadership, I'd attended these leadership conferences. And so they asked me these technical questions. And I remember the question they asked me was, what is the prime mover of a generator? Look, I was not desperate for the job. I just wanted to get an opportunity to work and learn how the corporate world operates. So I looked them in the eye, just as I'm doing right now, and I told them, I don't know. So they looked at me and they were wondering, this one is from where, you know? So they made the question a little bit simpler, and they also said, I don't know. And then I told them, look, you're asking me technical questions, but I have not had an opportunity to practice mechanical engineering. I have been running my own business. Give me an opportunity and I will prove myself. You know, at that moment, I realized that it was my personal development that was at work. Cut the long story short, they gave me the job. Not because I was the most competent, but because I was the most confident. And that is what this business has done for me. This business has helped me to grow as a person. I cannot tell you how much I used to have a low self-esteem. Today, I believe in myself. Today, I communicate effectively. Today, I have been different places. I remember one time I got on an aero, someone paid for me a first-class air ticket to go and speak at a convention in South Africa. First class. Where would I have got that opportunity? So this is a business that has given me an opportunity to discover myself. It has given me new meaning. It has helped me to realize that I am a person of purpose, I'm a person of potential, and anybody can do what I have done. So I worked on this job for 2 years and 4 months. And for me, the purpose of the job was really to learn how corporate world operates. And then while they were planning to promote me, I tendered my resignation. And I said, look, I came here, I've done everything I needed to do. I have learned what I needed to learn. It is time for me to move on. And they tried so hard to keep me. They said, Jesse, can you give us 6 months and we find a replacement? I said, no, I'll give you 2 months. So I trained someone and I left. And it is then that I realized that there are people who are trapped on a job. They don't like it. They don't like the people they work with, but they have no choice. This is the business that gave me a choice to voluntarily leave a job and focus on my business. Today, I enjoy what I do. Today, I love working with people because I truly believe in the potential that all of us have got. And if you are here, maybe you are looking for a business that you want to do. Look no further, because this is the business that has made me what I am. One of the things I cannot forget to tell you is the power of legacy. Because the person who invited me to this business sadly passed away about 12 years ago. And when he passed away, we thought that was the darkest day in our lives. I remember I was on a flight to Nairobi when I heard the sad news. But to this day, we look back and we realize that 12 years later, the business that he left behind is still running. Where do you find a business that you can do today and 12 years later, you'll still be paid for the work that you did 12 years ago? This is the business we are talking about. So if you are looking for a business that will give you residual income, freedom of time, the opportunity to become your own boss, to develop yourself, build assets, and have self-improvement, this is the right opportunity. If you are a guest and you have been listening to this presentation, I want to challenge you. Make up your mind and do this business, because in fact, the founder of this company said, you don't even need faith to do this business. You just need to see what others have done, because faith means that you don't see. Faith applies where you don't see. But here you have had an opportunity to see what other people have done. So if you have been listening, if I had never started this business, I would never be where I am today. If I had never started this business, the people that I have helped to become directors and world team members would never have become. I want to tell you that there are people that will never make it in life until you start this business. Why? Because they can only start because you started. So don't discount yourself. Don't think that you cannot do it. It is possible you can do it. As long as you do the things that we have done, I believe that it is possible for you. And for the distributors, I just want to encourage you that whoever has done this business is not special. They are not any different. If they can do it, you can also do it. I just want to leave you with one statement, that successful people do not, the things that successful people do consistently are the same things that unsuccessful people do occasionally. So let's stick to the daily habits. Let's talk to people every day. Recently a lady contacted me on Facebook and she got started in the business. So if we just keep on doing the things that we are supposed to be doing day in, day out, I want to tell you that consistency compounds. If you keep on doing the things that you are supposed to do, it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how good your presentation is. It doesn't matter how much you know. One day, as long as you keep on keeping on, you will become a director. You will become a world team member. You will become a president's team member. And who knows, you will become a diamond director. Because I truly believe that whatever others have done, we can also achieve. So that has been my story. That has been my experience. I welcome you to the Neolife family, because your story is the one we are waiting for next. So thank you so much, and I hand back to you.